So it's gonna be a different type of video. Hold on, a little shiny. Thought I took care of that. It's gonna be a different type of video today. I'm gonna just talk. Something I don't care to do, but I'm gonna do. I came to talk to you guys about what it's like parenting bipolar and what it's like trying to feel beautiful when bipolar, because it's not always easy to do either one of those things. Okay. I have bipolar 2 mixed with anxiety disorder, PTSD, and a slight bit of OCD. Working backwards, my OCD is the least concerning of my issues. I just count things. Weirdly. I count how many steps it takes. I count how many seconds it takes sometimes. I count. I don't know if that's a coping mechanism, but I don't do it on purpose. I need to have things repetitiously. I need to have the same parking space. I need to have the same kind of like routine to feel okay, to feel sane, if you will. For PTSD, that's a discussion for a later day. I'm getting better with that though. Way better. As far as anxiety disorder goes, honey, if it weren't for the meds, I wouldn't sleep at night. If it weren't for my meds, I'd have a really hard time making it through the day. I get very anxious about any and everything, especially if it's something that's like not in my control. I really worry. I always imagine the worst things happening, and I kind of just, it takes over my life. You can tell when I'm anxious because I start rocking and I can't sit still. It might be a lip bite. It's just, it's a world of things that it could be. Okay. Now, as far as my bipolar goes, it's like I think people think bipolar, you just hear two different emotions. Like you're either happy or you're sad. And it's more to bipolar than that. You are manic, you're okay, or you're depressed. But because I have anxiety mixed with it, it's hard to be the same person every day for my son. It's hard to be the same person once or twice a week for my son. Okay? And when I try to maintain my sanity, 9 times out of 10, I'm doing it for him. Okay? I don't have help when it comes to raising him. His father has not been in the picture for ever, honestly. So I don't have a mom that comes and gets him every other weekend. I don't have sisters that act like we're related. I don't have family. It's really just him. And honestly, if it weren't for him, I don't think that I would be alive. I have someone to live for. I have someone to love, and I have someone that loves me. And he loves me despite my illnesses. He loves me despite my moods. He loves me despite when we sit in the house for the whole weekend instead of going out to do fun things. Like, he loves me despite anything. And I remember one time I told my therapist that, you know, sometimes I just shut down and I just go in my room and I might not talk to him for a day, for 2 days, outside of him asking me if I'm okay. And him asking me if I'm okay means everything to me. He's not supposed to worry about his mother. I'm supposed to worry about him. But it's a mutual caring relationship. And I think it's okay for him to worry about me sometimes. I think it's okay. And I don't mean to worry about me like he knows what's going on. And I don't mean worry about me like he's ever known that I've been suicidal. But I mean okay to worry about me in the sense that he can tell something's not quite right. So he kind of alters how he deals, how he interacts with me. That's really, really hot. Sorry. That's really, really important and special to me. I had him very early. I had him at 19. I had him at 19. I was pregnant at 18. And everyone kind of disowned me then. I'm a foster kid, so my foster mother didn't agree with me having him. 2 people asked me to get an abortion. And I remember my birth mother being excited, but not being there. But God gave him to me early, and he gave me this beautiful boy that's blended with compassion and patience. He's very mild-mannered. He's great with other kids. He's great with little kids. He wants a sibling, and I wish I could give it to him. But honestly, as me, I don't know what kind of child would come next. So I don't know. I don't know if my disorder can handle it. But I just came on here to rant about introducing myself to you guys on a deeper level. If you have any symptoms of bipolar, and I guess I should talk about that. So I've always been bipolar, and I've always known that I was bipolar, but I wouldn't let doctors diagnose me. I'm smart. I've always been very smart. I've been reading the DSM since I could read. My foster mother was a social worker, so she had plenty of books for me to sneak and read. And I remember the first time she signed me up for therapy, I tricked that therapist. And she's like, oh, she's fine. You're just kind of putting too much on her. You need to lighten the load. I diverted all that attention. And then I started therapy on my own as an adult, on my own free will, because of something that happened in my life that caused PTSD. And I kind of just, at that moment, I was at such a low that I told my doctor what was wrong, that I told her I knew I was bipolar. So some of the triggers or some of the symptoms that first showed when it was out of my control was my sexual appetite. Yes, I like sex. I'm a freak. But I was a whole bag. Like, I was having sex with guys that I wouldn't even look twice at. And I didn't care. Like, I had sex without judgment. I guess that's what I mean. I had sex with no reservations. I was out there. And then the next thing that kind of let me know that I was bipolar was my spending habits. I would shop to make myself feel better. And like, that's a girl thing to kind of do, or a character thing to kind of do. I don't want to say a girl thing because that's sexist. Some people do that and some people don't. But when you have bipolar, you do it in this way that's unrealistic. And you spin and you spin and you spin and you spin. And then you're stuck depressed because you don't have, one, anything left to spend. Two, anything to pay, which you actually need to pay. If that makes sense. You can't cover your bills. You can't cover your anything. You get it, you spend it, and then you're depressed. Still. So that was another one. And then my tempers. I would go from really, really happy, talking so fast, like literally just dancing around as I'm walking, hi to everybody, whatever. And then I would crash. Like, I would just become a whole different person. I'd be so sad. I'd be so depressed. I'd cry for days or hours, usually days. Usually like 2 days was what I would do after like a crash down. It was just hard. It was really hard. So I just urge anyone who has any of those symptoms or anything like it to seek help. I want you to be the best that you can be. I want me to be the best that I can be. And I want us to flourish together. So if you're going through anything mentally and you're just not sure about it, not normal, because what the fuck is that? Okay? But if you're not your true self, if you feel like there's something in you that's holding you back, if you feel like there's something in you that is a little off balance, off-putting, offsetting, off-whatevering, I just urge you to seek help. I urge you to find a local psych hospital. They normally have financial assistance plans available. They don't tell everybody that, but these are things that I'm learning along my journey, so I want to share with you all so you can get started on your best journey if you need to. Like, I got 2 months of free meds when I didn't have insurance. So seek help. All it takes is a phone call. All it takes is a walk in. All it takes is a first appointment. And you could be back to being your best self. So I say all of that to say hi and welcome to Felice World. Welcome to the Bipolar Beauty. I am here for you all through the community. Every day, all day. Message me if you need me. Comment, like, and subscribe on things. Off in YouTube world. But yeah, you can live with bipolar. You can parent bipolar. And I'm not bipolar. I have bipolar.